Welcome to 108 Gates. We are doing an energy reading for when you come to this reading. And let's see what is happening. So, romance and healing. That is not the energy I was expecting to come out, because it was a very different feeling. But having said that, it's almost like you've got to romance yourself to bring about the healing. So it feels as though there's a lot of self-love required, and it's on another level of what we're usually aware of with self-love. Taking that time to literally listen to what you want to achieve. What do you need to achieve that? Do you need to reclaim more of your inner peace? Do you need to reclaim some empowerment? Is it financial empowerment, spiritual empowerment, emotional empowerment? Just you in your own being, in your own existence. So it feels as though how somebody would be romanced, you've got to do that for yourself. Very strange energy. But having said that, balance. There you go. So getting the balance between romancing yourself and healing. So if you are going too far into the fluffy self-love, should we call it, and it's not actually doing anything, it's kind of the tokenistic self-healing. What I mean by that is it's all well and good having spa days and this, that and the other, but if you're not being good to yourself by eating healthy food or getting enough sleep and doing those basics, it doesn't matter if you're going on expensive or like lots of fancy holidays or lots of holidays or anything like that, because when you come back from the holiday you still return back to what you left. So it's making those deeper changes, those deeper shifts, and making sure that you are literally romancing yourself. So if you had this is just an example, if you were to have a romantic relationship with someone and you were thinking about, is this short term or long term? What kind of investment would you make in that relationship long term? If it was a short term one, what type of investment would you make in that relationship for a short term relationship? The commitment is different. What you are investing is different. So it's just taking a look at yourself and how are you investing in yourself? Are you there for the long term romancing of yourself or the short term romancing of self? Is it just getting through the day, or are you thinking long term? And really weird thing coming up, but it's like, if the long term is to look at how are you setting yourself up for example, a retirement, how are you setting yourself up for long-term security, especially now things are so fickle and easy to fall apart, that, well, for some, that it's really dependent on others. But at the same time, how much opportunity is it for you to be dependent on yourself, to be independent, and to be aware of what you're creating is actually a part of what you're going to have in the future. What you're not creating, how is that going to be impacting you? So what should you be building? What should you be doing to romance yourself long term, to have that healthy relationship with yourself long term? What did you do previously that has led you to this now in this space? Are you happy with the relationship you have with yourself? Are you wanting to improve certain things with yourself? Let's find the Tattoo Tarot. Very different to the energy that was coming up before. So definitely felt that shift into this energy as I started the reading. Yeah, it's kind of also bringing up things like when we are romancing self. So for example, if someone is to give gifts and things like that, how long do those gifts actually last? So if someone is to buy this is just an example, buy an item of clothing or a piece of jewellery or something that's quite extravagant as a way of expressing something. We all have different ways of expressing love and love languages and things like that. But it's like, what actual value does that gift give? And then go into the more humble, or the more realistic gifts, go into the more useful gifts, go into the more considered and considerate gifts. And it's like, well, when we're giving it to the recipient, what is their perspective of that gift? So when you're giving yourself, I don't know, a particular kind of holiday, but then you're also giving yourself a debt, or you're having to borrow money for it, or you're having to take some money out of a fund that you can't really be taking that money out of right now. It's about being considerate of those things and being aware that there's sometimes we need to just really be blunt with ourselves and be really clear of, do I need this or want this? Is this long term going to be beneficial or not? Do I have the excess funds for this? Or can I just wait a bit, or just can I start putting a bit aside? So when you do have that, for example, holiday, you're actually going on that holiday with 100% awareness and knowing that you haven't taken anything from your future self. You haven't deprived or depleted any of your financial security, or any other kind of security when you are on holiday. And you're going to enjoy that holiday, as this is just an example, even more so because you know that you're there. And it's fully paid for, it's fully invested in a healthy way. It may take you another 6 months to save up for it, or another year or something like that to save up for it. But it's that peace of mind that you have, knowing that you don't have to go back and worry about the bills to pay it off. It's knowing that you've done it in the correct way for you. You've done it with your peace of mind at heart. You've done it with awareness that I am not taking anything from my peace of mind or my future self. I'm literally adding to it because I can, because I have the money on the side, I have this, I have that. And like I said, it's just an example. So okay, 5 of coins, interesting. So have there been times when you've kind of been excessive, or you've been excessive to someone else? So you have kind of maybe given a gift, or you've given something to someone and it hasn't been perceived as the value of what you gave it. You gave someone something, you invested in someone or something, and it just hasn't given you the return. It hasn't given you the outcome that you expected, and there's some pain around that. There's some feeling of disappointment. When I say pain, I mean there's like deep hurt. So I'm going to get a Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, because Queen of Wands came up here and I just felt like it was lifting. So the scales are unbalanced. Interesting, balance. Romance, healing, balance. Pain over here. Here it feels like the Divine Feminine wants to take some action. It needs to take some action to be healing, actually bringing the healing about from in the past when we were looking through rose-coloured glasses. We weren't looking correctly, and we weren't looking accurately. We weren't looking at things in the way that they actually are. We were possibly investing more than we should have, because we thought, if I put more into this, it'll overcompensate, or it will compensate for something. But we may have been overcompensating, and that overcompensating has got a bit lost. It's kind of diluted the actual intent, is diluted the outcome, is diluted the whole situation here. So bringing that balance in, romancing and healing. Let's get the Divine Feminine card. So we had the Tower yesterday, got the Tower there. Something needs to just fall apart. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Some things have just got to have a line drawn under it. Some things have got to just come to the end and just have that moment of, I can't do any more with this. I can't do anything with this. It is what it is, and I just got to let go. I've got to just let it go. Definitely feeling it's going to take a particular kind of awareness of the situation. Look into your heart. Where are you so adamant you don't want to look at right now? Where are you so adamant of it's okay, I'll figure something out, I'll figure out a solution, I'll get a solution, I don't know what to do, but I will know how to do it. I've got to hold on for dear life, I've got to hold on for as much as I can, for as long as I can, and get my outcome that I need and I want. That's not going to be helpful at the moment. You're going to have to look at, right, this is the outcome I want, this is the outcome I think I need. What is the actual truth of this situation? What is the actual outcome that will really be of benefit to me? I would even go as far as saying, go back 10 seconds and record and listen to that bit again. I sure will, because that feeling, that sensation of what do I want? What do I expect? What do I want as an output, like particular kind of outcome from this? What is actually going to be beneficial for me? It might not be the answer that you want to hear. It might be something that you've actually been trying to avoid as an outcome. Being ready to figure that out and get the balance so the actual healing can occur. The security that you had intended to have from something may not actually be the security that you thought. It might be time to be moving on from that. It might be time to decide that, right, I've gone as far as I can with this, and now I need to bring in a different kind of perspective. Two of Cups, where's the love here? It's going to be a bit of a tough one. It is a tough one. I never say these things are easy. That's why I do the reading, so we can just bring those questions to life, bring those questions to our heart, bring our questions to our consciousness, our pre-consciousness, because sometimes we just don't want to hear it. And here we go, the Devil. This feels like it's a knot created because of not wanting to go forward, not wanting to do things in a different way. And it's not because, like, when I'm saying this, it's coming up as in, like, have that compassion for yourself, that love for yourself. Have that, if you had a person who'd come to you and they had the same issue, the same problem, and you talk to them with love and compassion, are you talking to yourself that way, or are you just being really harsh? So I'm hearing and feeling that you might be reprimanded. You should have had this managed by now. You need to sort this out by now. Or you're hearing that from someone else. You need to figure this out by now. You need to just let it go. You need to do this. You need to do that. And it's like, well, there's a reason if you haven't already done it, why you haven't already done it. And that's a big key of why this is not being turned. This is a big key of why you're still holding on to something. This is a big key of why you're still avoiding something. So having the Tower, being ready for whatever the outcome is, as long as it's the correct outcome for me, I'm ready for it. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to see. I'm willing to hear. I'm willing to feel. I'm willing to be from a higher perspective, and having that flow of love, having that correct flow of love, the balance, the two cups, balancing the healing and the romancing. The Devil here is definitely saying and sensing that there's something that's just been avoided, and it could be because of those fears, because of those insecurities, because in the past there may have been a particular outcome which has scared you to the bone, which has put fear into you to the bone. And I'm saying to the bone, it's like you just even hear a certain word, or you smell a certain smell, and your senses and your body and your instinct, your intuition shudders, it shakes, is provoked into a space where you don't want to go. And that is massive in knowing then how you can really bring about the romancing and the healing. What do you really need to love? So the other day I said something about if you're in a situation and you've been in a particular situation that's similar to that, ask yourself, how did you get out of that? When we say we should be doing this, we should be doing that, are there examples of you having done that in a helpful and useful and courageous way in the past? So I should actually be more, as an example, financially savvy. But in the past, are there examples of when you had to be financially savvy, you were financially savvy, so you have the skills and the ability to do it, but for some reason right now you need to just like find a way of levelling up. You just need to find a way of taking it to the next level. That could mean you need to have more faith in yourself. You need to have more trust in yourself. You need to simply work on your wealth container. You need to let go of the next level of the deep wounds. That's the Knight of Wands, taking that action, taking that dedicated action, intentional action, that very specific action. Excellent. So we've got the High Priestess and the Hierophant. For the higher perspective of this situation, you might be terrified with some of these things, because we do have, so we've got the eclipses started as of this morning here in the UK. So we've got eclipse season coming up. We've got so many energies in that first part of the chart. It's really quite intense. That inner work, that internal dialogue, that inner self being really just juggled about, so that we can move forward differently from now on. How open are you to that change and shift? Because it's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I'm quite sure a lot of you are feeling it. And even as I'm saying that, my left ear is feeling like it needs to hear something. It needs to sense something to be assured of how to go forward. It needs to hear something or feel something. You need to be able to tell yourself an element of truth, an aspect of truth to move forward. A lot. Queen of Wands, supporting the Queen of Wands. It says it all. Taking that loving action, being that loving action, having compassion for self, taking that moment to truly listen and thinking, why am I not willing or able to go this next step with this? What is it that's stopping me? Why am I stopping myself? What am I scared of? What am I worried about? What am I anticipating is going to be the outcome if I take this step? A lot of energy around that. A lot of hesitation, a lot of fearful blocking of it flowing because you were scared of the answer. Six of Coins. So with this Six of Coins, I'm definitely seeing the inequality of what's been happening in the past, the inequality which has brought about this Five of Coins. This is going to be almost a contradiction. So it's like you have to step forward into a scary space to check if it's actually scary or not. The issue with this is being ready and knowing that it might actually be scary. It might actually be that very thing that you were fearful of. The difference is now you are actually aware of that fear, and you can prepare yourself for it and be ready for it. If it is that fearful thing that you were scared of and worried about, how are you going to prepare yourself in a way that you are ready for that combat, you're ready for that conflict, you are ready for that discussion, you're ready for that rebuttal from someone else possibly? Is preparing yourself in a way that's empowering you, hence this really being really important. Taking the action, compassion and love. You load up with this in an abundance for yourself. So if you do have someone, the injustice coming in, the past pain coming in, and that past pain is coming in again exactly the same as before, how are you going to respond differently to it? So for example, if we have been in a particular situation with someone or something or a situation, and you know that the outcome in the past has always been it comes out and that person is really combative with you, or you try to achieve certain things and you just don't hit the mark for something. Now is the wealth of the information you have with this love, with this compassion, it's almost like you're emotionally and spiritually training yourself to go back again and face it again. How do you, this is the question, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, the taking the action, letting things fall, taking that chance, being ready to take that chance to bring about balance. If that happened again in the same or a similar kind of situation, a similar kind of scenario, what is your backup plan? What is your different response now? So if someone comes to you and they always argue in the same way, you always end up in the same discussion, you always end up in the same loggerhead, you always end up in the same I'm just seeing like locked horns, and you just can't seem to get past this. What is your response now? How are you going to change the way you respond to it? How are you going to change the way you see things? So I'm seeing the triangle, like the drama triangle. Are you adding to the drama, or are you equipping yourself to not be a part of the drama? You can observe it, you know it's happening, and you, instead of saying it's happening again and fall apart here, you need to let it fall apart, go into the situation and be equipped with different ways of responding. Being equipped with a different mentality, a different emotional contentment within yourself. There needs to be this build-up of wealth here, of your inner strength, of your inner commitment to yourself. When someone says, well, you never do this, you never do that, whatever, you know, because you have that evidence in your mind, you have that evidence in your emotions, in your heart, in your spiritual well-being. I have tried everything I possibly can. I have done A, B and C before, and I'm trying to do something now. You keep coming in the way, you keep trying to stop me, but this has to be alchemized. You can't approach it the way you have before. It needs a different approach. So with that, I'm going to get one card to close this up. Oh, that's there, but that wasn't the card I was trying to pick. It just drew some kind of attention. So modest fortitude, being modest, not fighting either way. It's just really going into that heart space, heartfelt solution. Build up fortitude, build up your courage, your ability to love yourself, your ability to stand up for you. If someone says a negative comment, do you crumble? Or are you able to say to yourself, and no, you know what, that's not true about me, and I know that's not true about me. You can say what you want, you can call me what you want, you can do what you want. I know the truth. There you go. I know the truth. Inspiration. Be your own inspiration. Let everything else but this inspire you. How do you overcome this? Be inspired over here. Your inner masculine is going to be fighting this. It may be that your inner masculine is like fighting with another masculine energy, or it's fighting with a masculine situation. There's no need to fight it. Let your divine inner feminine be strong, be solid, be loving, be compassionate for yourself. Romance yourself properly. Let that balance occur. So you know that when you go into this situation, you're solid. You can support yourself. You can say a comment in response, calmly, lovingly. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I've done. I know what I intend to do. I know that this injustice is not fair. I know there should be a different outcome. I know I'm fighting for a different outcome. I'm willing a different outcome. Even if I don't know the whole of the outcome yet, I need to stand my ground. So with that, I hope that was helpful. So for now, until next time, peace and love.